been asked my opinion on a lot of what's going on right now, and I thought I would just make this video to elaborate on, I guess you can say, the crazy perspective of what's happening. We're at a point in time, or what you would refer to as time, where our habits and our, I guess you can say, false patterns of behavior are catching up to us. We do not realize the concept of karma, and karma being consequence of action. It's not intending karma to be completely negative or completely positive. It is simply consequence of action. Thereafter, it can be a positive or a negative. It's not really one or the other. It's just the consequence of action. We are living in a very unsustainable way, and that unsustainable way is calling for measures that are not necessarily the most beneficial to your health. One of them I'm actually making this video about today is the poison that is being put in your water to clean it. In smaller concentrations, chlorine is not necessarily harmful to the human body. It's the same with any poison. Your body has the ability to handle toxins to a certain capacity. Once you reach maximum capacity, your body can no longer handle these poisons, and then you become sick. And this sickness, I mean, we have so many different names for it. We take symptoms and we label them as diseases. We have basically confused the reality. Symptoms are pointing towards something not being right. You are in dis-ease. You are partaking in something that is not necessarily beneficial for your health. Now, to elaborate on chlorine, in high periods like summertime where you're using a lot more water, it gets flushed out of the system. In low periods in wintertime where you're not watering your lawns and you're not doing things to clean the water main constantly, it creates deposits. And these deposits are basically magnifying this chemical that they're putting in your water, which, if you look and do your research, you will find that exposure to chlorine gives you all the same symptoms as a lot of the current illnesses going around. This is not to put anyone down. This is my own opinion, and I have a right to express that opinion. This is not an argument or a debate. This is simply my truth. And whether you agree with it or not is entirely up to you. You don't have to be watching this video if you don't want to. I know a lot of people would perceive my opinion as out of the box or crazy because it's going against the common opinion. Just as the ocean is affected by the moon, so is any other body of water. What you will notice is a pattern of people getting infected, so to speak. This infection is a chemical reaction. If you look at things logically, we're being exposed on a daily basis to a poison that's not necessarily healthy for us. It actually reacts with almost all acids, and your stomach contains acid in higher concentrations when your pH level is low. Your diet is dictating your pH level. This is one of the reasons why this reaction is occurring now, because our diets have gone so far off the chart. It's gone so far away from what we should be eating. It's creating a lot of problems for a lot of people, and it's not all of a sudden occurring. This has been happening for quite some time now. If you look at your history, you will know and understand what I'm talking about. High-fat foods, deep-fried garbage, and basically animals. You're exposing your system to a lower pH level, which means you're more acidic. Go out, get fresh fruit, vitamin D from the sun, and change your drinking water. Get clean water. Stop drinking this toxic garbage that cities are giving you. During the First World War, they utilized chlorine gas as a weapon, and that weapon was to kill people like any other weapon. I know I sort of have a habit of stating the obvious, but sometimes you actually, you have to look at the obvious to be able to understand complex situations like this one. It's clogging up your circulatory function. If you don't understand that, you soon will. There are a lot of people who are thinking in one direction, which is, we all need to run away from something that we cannot see. People are entitled to their own opinion. It's not my place to judge you for that. There are other people who are believing that the world is getting taken over by some people that we also cannot see, and we do not know. And I mean, as well, you're entitled to your opinion. It's not my place to judge you for that either. But just as you're entitled to your opinion, I am entitled to my opinion, and my opinion is looking at logical things that could be creating a situation where it's not necessarily created by one person or another. It's a collective dysfunction. It's been happening for thousands of years. It's what we would call civilized nations. We think that we're something outside of nature, and in fact we're not. We are nature. And just as anything else in nature, we play by the rules of nature. And the moment you start to think you're above and beyond the rules of nature, you're committing suicide. And in this case, it's a slow suicide, whereby you are creating huge amounts of tension within your body. Thereafter, you are experiencing illnesses of all different kinds. The point is, all of these illnesses are resulting from the tension buildup. We're going to be running around like the ignorant fools who really don't understand how the world of nature actually works. When you expose yourself to any poison, you will more than likely get sick. And there's more warnings and toxin signs on your local water supply facility than there is on a bottle of Windex or any other cleaning detergent, and you're drinking that. There really is no simpler way to put it. You're poisoning yourself through ignorance. You're going to suffer, and that's the consequence. This is throwing your body into a constant battle. This battle is like inflammation. It appears as inflammation. And I only know this because when I began the process of changing my diet, I lost all of my perceived weight. And it was not weight at all. My actual physical weight did not shift. This was a dramatic reduce in my size because the inflammation went away. Once I changed my diet, I stopped exposing myself to shitty food. I stopped eating things and drinking things that were not healthy for me. And guess what? Voila! All of my inflammation went down, which was resulting in all of my illnesses that I was experiencing. There's a huge amount of information out there. The issue currently is people have way too much tension within their bodies, and this is directly affecting their minds. When you have tension in your body, your mind wants to distract away from that tension, and that tension is pain. Tension is pain. Tension where we are trying to distract ourselves, and it has gotten to the point where we don't even know what reality is anymore. We don't even understand how the rest of life functions and all the other living beings on this planet, how they hold a space for the functionality of everything in existence. It's becoming quite ridiculous in my opinion. And again, I am entitled to share my opinion. It does not mean you have to agree with it, and it is only my truth. There's no shame in holding an opinion external to a collective dysfunctional ideology of life. When you slow down, when you take a moment to breathe, you begin recognizing your inherent connection to all that is. including yourself. First and foremost, you connect with your body. Secondly, you understand your connection with the world around you. If you don't have a connection with your body, how are you meant to connect with anything else? Do you understand that? If your body has pain, your mind wants to run away from it. Your mind wants to run away from the pain. Your mind wants to distract you from the pain. It wants to stop addressing what is really happening. So yeah, you're running around doing all of these things that you think is important. Well, this thing, the thing that you're born with, is the most important thing to you, because without this thing, you're not here anymore.